What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Monday. You know, we do Potomac things over here on Monday. What's up, Ja Tony? You be watching the Potomac? I didn't know you was over here watching the Potomac. Anyway, y'all, it's Monday. We're getting a head start on this work week. Hopefully, we're going to go ahead and get the things done that we need to get done. That's my plan, y'all. I got a list of things I want to do, and I'm going to try to execute all of them this week. You know what I'm saying? It's October. October changes the game, in October, it's the onset of the holiday. Time you get, the kids trick-or-treated. My kids are too little to trick-or-treat. Too old to trick-or-treat. My grandbaby's too young to trick-or-treat. So we won't be worrying about no candy or anything like that. But once the October kicks in, it's time for holiday season, and that changes the game a little bit. So I want to go ahead and try to get a step ahead. I don't want to have any stress. The holidays will pull stress into you, and we don't know what we're dealing with, child. I don't even know if I want to throw the Christmas tree up, but I didn't mean to throw y'all into December. We're going to go right over here to Potomac. Before we do that, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. We're going to ride over Potomac, but we're not going to go by Dr. Wendy and Happy Eddie's house because we don't want to get caught up in whatever they got going on over there. So we're going to go over here and pick up at Ashley's party, her divorce party. I don't know what she was calling it, second dubs or whatever the heck Ashley had going on over there. Anyway, she's over here screaming at Stacy with her finger in this lady's face. I'm like, the nerve of Ashley to be demanding an explanation from this lady for what? She's standing up here talking about she don't deal with liars. You are a liar. You deal with a lot of liars. That's what you do over here, Ashley. Give me a break. She's like the president of the HOA, like chastising this lady for letting her packages stay on the porch for too long. And then she better provide that paperwork or else she's going to be fined. I wonder if Ashley, she can't be the president of the HOA based on the way her lawn looks. Anyway. Meanwhile, Kay is still over here having this conversation with Wendy about how she didn't show up, and Kay says she shows up as a vulnerability friend. And Wendy is lately showing up as an awkward friend because she don't know what's going on with Wendy. And they start like explaining to each other how friendship works. Kay feels like Wendy is acting like the things that she's saying that Wendy's so above it. And I'm seeing the dismissive Wendy over here. Before, when Wendy was under attack by the whole entire cast, she wasn't showing up with this disposition. Not over here, like Karen says she did, but we didn't see that. And what do we want to take, advice from the grand dame, who's also over here acting like she's better than people while she's over there serving time in the pen. Anyway, I feel like this is the problem, though. Kay is feeling dismissed, and Wendy is acting like she's above, whatever it is Kay is saying. I think that's absolutely true. And so if somebody is your friend, Dr. Wendy, and they tell you that they're feeling dismissed by your friendship, if you really, care about them, then you're going to take the steps it takes to change that. I don't know. Wendy be shysty and, shivering over here through things. And maybe she didn't want Kate like all up in her business based on the things they had going on, because the closer you get to someone, the more you have to start explaining the things that don't make sense. Or Wendy is that person that was cool with Kay when she wasn't on the show. So I hate that. I hate that whole, you can be cool, but not as long as you're on the same level as me type shit. I hate that, because if I'm going to shine, I'm going to shine. Hopefully you're going to shine and we can shine together. Nobody's trying to step out somebody's light. That's ridiculous. Anyway, Wendy dismisses whatever Kay is saying and takes this moment to welcome the new ladies of the group. I guess she's the queen of the moment. There's a lot of main characters over here. Ashley over here demanding explanations from Stacy. Wendy's welcoming everyone in, even though they just started liking her last season. So it took one season for her to decide she's the queen of the throne. Not Giselle's throne, girl. especially not now. Whew, it's gonna be hard to make it through this season. I have no intentions of being light on Happy Eddie and Dr. Wendy because what they did was just didn't make sense. It would be different if you did something because you're in need. Y'all were not in need of all this floss. Y'all are literally going jail for trying to keep up with the Joneses when you could have just did regular shit and came up anyway. But that's what the people be doing over here in Potomac and other places. It's a lot of mugshots over here on Bravo. I should do one live just on all the mugshots that they've had over the years. Anyway, it was just kind of weird to me how she's like, welcome to the group. I'm like, they don't even like you. You welcoming people into the group. They let you have it, but while she sits there in that dress, that ain't even her party. And I'm going to post a picture of that dress probably on the thumbnail because Wendy was dressed for, I don't know, Queen Elizabeth's, garden party. Queen Elizabeth is gone. Who's taking over? Not Kate. Whew, is this a rough time over there? Somebody rich's garden party. That's where Wendy was going. Anyway, Kate turns her energy then from Wendy to Stacy. And she said basically that Stacy is not bringing her authentic self to this group. But she told her that back when we was at that vacation, I think in Carolina, when they had to sleep in the bunk beds. And she said she asked Stacy, are you going to ever, show these ladies your true self? And Stacy said no. So Stacy said Kate lately is coming with her with some negative, aggressive energy. And the ladies was like, she's not negative. She's not aggressive. I don't think she's aggressive, but she is giving Stacy a hard time, I feel like. I don't understand what Kay is mad about. You worried about whether or not Wendy was over here, not Wendy. What's her name? You wondering whether or not Stacy was over here paying TJ me whole time, actually over here playing with Josh. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm guessing that Karen's best friend Cookie is here to stand in for her. I'm wondering, like, where the heck did Karen find Cookie? Is Cookie of Potomac, Karen, or is that just your homegirl that you can, get toss a few back? Karen and Cookie be over there getting loaded. Cookie, you should have let your friend get in that car. She wouldn't be in this predicament. The Cookie wasn't there. It's not her fault. Anyway, Cookie says she talks to Ray every day. And I'm like, why? Why are you talking to Ray every day, Cookie? I don't need you to handle things that much for me. I get at least one phone call a day. I'll call Ray myself, Cookie. Ray out here is she checking up on Ray? Ray trying to take a break from, Karen. But, here's Cookie over here calling. Now, while the ladies are talking, all of a sudden this very low energy stripper came over there dressed in a blue mermaid dress, and then she started dancing in front of them and getting all butt ass naked. She got her bent over, we could see her ass crack. Ashley, why didn't you put that lady in the bird cage? We don't want to look at it. It's a garden party. It's not a dimly lit room. It's a garden party. The lights are all bright. This lady got her ass cheeks up in the air down in front of the tea kettle. Mimosas and things. Put her in a cage. Let her strip over there. The ladies was like, oh, please make it stop. That's terrible when you get down on the floor with your ass cheeks in the air and somebody's response is, please make it stop. She was so low energy. But I mean, what was she dancing to? She got a busted wide open in the middle of a tea party. That's embarrassing. Anyway, we over at Wendy's house. This all before the feds came and busted in there. So we're over at her house. She's going to meet up with Stacy. And Wendy is walking around her house with stripper shoes on. This is another thing. Who does this? Dr. Over on Married to Madden. Dr. Contessa be walking around her house in stilettos and, high heel shoes. It's just Stacy. The romper was cute. You didn't have no little, Keds or something to put on, Wendy? Dr. Wendy, some little Gucci flats, tennis shoe type situation. She walking around like she gonna bust her ass walking around in them shoes, fall down the stairs. Y'all, I don't know what your medical insurance look like, but your property insurance is a little flim-flammy right now. So they're sitting outside on Wendy's patio, which her patio looks very nice. And they both sitting up there acting like they don't know how to open a bottle of champagne. Where's Eddie? You want Eddie to come from wherever he is to open the champagne? Stacy, standing in the corner pretending. Y'all just pretend about everything. Y'all just so fragile. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Y'all got those nail lead press on things. So you can't really mess with a bottle of champagne. You bust your nails off. It'd be hard to get to your nail girl last minute. You got filming things. Anyway, Stacy is telling Wendy her story about her and her husband getting back together. We're divorced, now we're back together. Wendy looking at her like she's a damn fool. Like, this is very sus. Stacy, you just did a whole 180. Y'all spent all this time. Stacy would have been better off saying that they called off the divorce, that they decided not to divorce, instead of saying we got a divorce and now we're undivorced, we're getting back together, or whatever the hell they're doing. We don't know. Stacy be lying, Wendy be lying about stuff. To me, if you lie about your jewelry, you lied about everything, child. Where's that baby that Eddie was supposed to have? We had this whole thing all about the tea. And we sat up there, was like, that lady just be making up stories. Maybe she was. I don't know if this one was made up anymore. I don't know if Robin and Giselle was like hitting a nerve when they said that lady got her body done in order to keep Eddie. So Stacy drops the tea to Wendy about her cannabis business. And Stacy said she don't understand why these ladies is turning on her. It's because you be lying. So she says she's opening a cannabis business. The people in the cannabis business were already like on your case, spilling your business, telling Giselle what was going on. I guess it's a small network probably. So yeah, Wendy said, I wish you the best, girl. Because what else can you say? I wish you the best. Because right now, Wendy has way too many things to be thinking about besides whether or not Stacy is going to do a cannabis business. I feel like weed is just now getting legalized in certain places. So I feel there's probably a lot of people that are investing their money in weed business. And, Happy Eddie was right there. So it just kind of pushed her over the edge. I don't know. She just be making up stupid stories. Yes, Eddie's business did inspire me to have my own. But I didn't want Giselle to make the announcement with her big fat mouth, and I didn't know which direction I was going in. Now I'm at a place where I feel like it's okay to share it. That's all you had to say. What can she say? Wendy and Eddie don't own the cannabis business. Oh no, she's trying to remix it. We don't believe you. Like I said, at the end of the day, Wendy just wished her luck. So good luck, Stacy, Stacy. We go over to Tia's house. So, this is our opportunity to get to know the newer ladies. We go over to Tia's house. Tia is, boy, her kids are beautiful. Her girls are pretty like how Giselle's girls are pretty girls. She's got the two older girls, and she has twins. And so supposedly that's how her and Giselle bonded over having twins. Tia's twins is one boy and one girl. So she said her husband is from Chicago and she is from Nigerian royalty. So she grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth. And, she was born in Nigeria. She was raised in England. The husband took the girls shopping so these two can have a little, alone time to film. And she said she don't do errands. She said when she has a driver to do those types of things. And so, her husband is the nanny. That's what Giselle said that, but she co-signed it. So I think that's cute, honestly. I think it's probably better for the girls to go shopping with dad because he's not going to be as tight on the budget. When you go shopping with your mama, she got a budget in what she wants to buy for herself because she's not just going over there go shopping for nothing. And based on the way this lady is living, her purchases are going to be pricey. So yeah, go with your daddy because he just gonna, let you have what you want probably. Couple, please, dads, come on, dad. Um, Tia says she's a global real estate advisor. So she's bringing real estate moguls in to invest their money over here and over there, not just here, but all over the places. That's people with money when they can afford to buy. I went to, and this was some years back, I went to Delray Beach over in West Palm Beach. Delray Beach is cool. There's a little area, like wealthy area down there in Palm Beach. I'm sure there's a lot of wealthy area, but the one I went to go see, it's a bunch, you go drive around and look at these mansions and mansions and mansions and mansions and nobody in them because these people have invested in these properties and now they got a house over here doing I don't know what. You got to have a staff in the house. I think at the time there was a lot of renting the houses out for music videos and things, so they were making money but nobody was actually living in the house probably. And they come for however long they come and stay and then go back. So yeah, that's what Miss Tia is over here doing. And her husband does, what did she say? He does sales acquisitions for a massive aeronautical company. Giselle said he's a nerd, and I'm going to let it go with that because I don't have any earthly idea. I know what sales are, and acquisitions is like takeovers to some extent. So, put that together. Aeronautical, sounds like some water shit. I'll have to look more into it, but it seems like it makes them a lot of money. Both of them together, like she's, comes from wealth. And I think that's the cool thing about Africa. It's like if you haven't watched Young Famous in Africa, and I like that show because, it's so opulent. You see people that look like us that have all this money because over here we be struggling, like Good Times, Penny and, Flora and James and all them. Not over here. There's no struggling happening over here. So all I can say to Tia and your husband is y'all better be right. Y'all's funds better be right. Y'all better not be over here tricking us because the feds got their eye over here on RHOP. So whatever acquisitioning you're doing and globally real estating, it better be on business for real, because they're coming for you. Wendy didn't like Karen. Wendy, they didn't change the game over here in Potomac. Now we go over to Ashley's house. Ashley, cut your grass. You got the boy out there playing in weeds. You don't have a guy. That grass hasn't been cut in a long time. I'm not saying go cut the grass, but get the grass cut. The kids can't play out there. That's where you find snakes and things in that tall grass. The big hole in the grass, I guess, where the boys been jumping off of the swing set or whatever they're doing. You know how you come off the slide. Ashley, get your daggone grass cut. That's tacky. You over here running around in Gucci wear and all these designer fabulous, they talked about you down to the Shein and Fashion Nova. So I guess you want to go over to the mall now. Look like you're doing something. You still tacky, but it's okay. Ashley has a sister that we've never heard of. She's doesn't like her father or something. Ashley doesn't like her father. So what did she say? They're rebuilding their relationship or whatever they're doing over there, rebuilding their bond. Anyway, Ashley says she's going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I'm like, when did she start doing that? When did Ashley start doing that at the Correspondents' Dinner? Since Wendy and them was over at the White House, now she wants to be, Potomac, it ain't DC. I know DC is like, one of those cities that's got those types of parties, but she's clearly not networking with any of those people because she got, what's his name, over here taking her out. What's the man's name? Josh. She going to the correspondence dinner with Josh. Her sister doesn't really care for Josh like that. She said it ain't nothing wrong with Josh. He look all right, but he just seems a little childlike. Yeah, baby boyish. She said he's kind of boyish. He is. Ashley said she, ended things with Josh at the end of last season. And then she put him, she put him on pause. She didn't end it, she put it on pause. And then went and did that hotel dating show, which I did not watch because I don't like to watch Ashley and Giselle. What's up, everybody? Oh, y'all just been talking and I've been missing it. It hasn't been over here where I'm looking. You didn't finish it, but you're here. What's up, T? And they all the way back. I've been missing all the conversation. Welcome to the channel, Jocelyn Stewart, FV-FV1 Go. Woo! We'll have to find out what that all stands for later. I'm not, what you say, babe? It's not looking good for the Ostefos, not at all. Maybe they should confess it all and then throw themselves at the mercy of the court. If I had gone to school for years and then I deserve a PhD. Child, they're gonna have to throw themselves on the mercy because the decisions they have made have been completely stupid, with lack of better, term. So yeah, they're gonna have to try to take a plea. Hopefully they can find a pricey lawyer that will, it's a lot of charges, child, felonies and felonies. Maybe they'll let them do it like how Teresa Giudice and Joe Giudice did, and they one can go first and then the other can go later. And I don't know. We'll be waiting. They said the camera crew is up and ready and filming to see what the Ostefos are doing. But yeah, Ashley over here talking about she don't lie, but she over here lying about being in a relationship, so to speak. They on a break so she could do the show. And then when it's time to start filming, she texts him talk about, hey, big head. I guess, hey, big head, come back over here and do this show with me. The only difference is TJ's ass was over here asking to get paid. But I feel like Carlos King said he asked him to get paid. So TJ think he's, he's worth whatever he thinks he's worth. You don't got to come talk, but that's not what Josh is over here doing. Josh is just like, yeah, I'll go hang out at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in a T-shirt and some tennis shoes. This man don't even have that. That little blazer did not turn that outfit into a suit. You couldn't find a suit, Josh? Don't have to be custom made, but good grief, you could go down to the Men's Warehouse. Actually, you should have bought the man a suit. Then he wouldn't have showed up. If you're going to be renting dates, then do better. I'm just saying. I don't know if they're smashing or not. That's something I really don't want to visualize. It's not sexy if they are. I doubt it. Yeah, so that's what Ashley's doing over there. Angel and Bobby, they have a date night. I like Angel. Angel, I like Tia too. I think, so far, first episode, this is only the second episode, so you don't get too much, but I appreciate them giving us a little insight. They're very different, but they both come from wealth, like interesting things. Like, yeah, let's talk about global, real estate, luxury, global real estate. Let's talk about that. So, so we can see us in those types of conversations. We see Mauricio doing it all the time, but Mauricio be getting into some types of trouble sometimes with PPP loans and things. That's why I said, be careful, Miss Tia. Angel and Bobby are renting their house. They still have their home in Colorado, a beautiful home in Colorado. They met on Facebook, and look, Angel is over here seeking acres. She don't want to just have no house on no street and no cul-de-sac. She would like some acres. I guess they got that, Angel, over in Maryland, but you're going to have to get a way out. I guess Potomac is out. I don't know. I don't know anything about Maryland, but you're going to have to move out, away from the city to get those types of acres. I'm not mad at that. Her husband said minimum 2. She said minimum 5. Minimum 5 acres. Yeah, you might have to get them acres and then build on it. I don't know, but shout out to those two doing things differently as well. Um, when you have a lot of acres like that, it is a lot of work. It does cost a lot to do, whatever it is you want to do to it. She's up for it, her husband is not. I have a feeling they're young and they'll probably go ahead and make that investment when they find it and, do whatever. You clearing area, trees and things, it costs money to do all that. It costs money to get one tree out your yard. Imagine if you got to clean a whole section and bulldoze things down. What is Sean Stockman? He can't do that. He just knows how to cut the grass. He can't come clear out all of them trees and things. Bobby asked her if they were hazing her. She was like, "No, I'm new, like to this group, but I'm not new to being grown as hell. We won't be hazing Angel over here." Angel has a very zen energy, and it feels like if you press her too far, you'll release the beast. That's why she's over here trying to breathe with sound bowls and things. The sound bowls people, they have a very, very strong pop off. I don't know what her sign is. I can't remember if she said it or not, but yeah, when she's on that calm zen thing, don't piss her off. KK, Kiarna. Yeah, I like Angel. I like Angel and Bobby. She says she's planning to get together so she could get to know everybody on her own. Even though her and Kiarna have been friends for 20 years, she's not about to let Kiarna influence what she feels about, who she connects with and things. So I'm glad she said that because Kiarna's being messy. It is, it's whatever. But I feel like she's being messy. She's doing one thing with Wendy, and I don't know if Wendy's making her feel some type of way. But this is, my best friend from 20 years, and now you over here talking smack with her with Giselle. So Giselle comes over to her place, and she has a chef preparing lunch. I love that. I want to do that. When you're entertaining, just have somebody come cook it. She's being real fancy. It's just Giselle, but I think it's, probably not that expensive to have somebody pay him, then pay the restaurant. At least your food will be right. Kay's apartment is beautiful. I hope it's a condo. I don't know that they said apartment. I hope Kay invested in a condo and that she's easing away from Greg because that ain't it. Just let him be. If you just want to hang out with, she's comfortable, don't want to start all over. But I think she's best off to just ease off of that a little bit. He's not going to pour into her success. He's going to drain her and have her pouring into his success instead. So Kay is telling Giselle about her event where they were over at, she has some Botox and spa thing. She had, promoting her business. The ladies is over there and she got them standing around telling them this darn story about Wendy at the red carpet. She said the lady said her kids was sick and then she showed up on the red carpet and the first thing that she said to me was, "Did you do your own makeup?" I don't think that's how that went. I think Wendy definitely said that. I don't know if it was supposed to be shade or not. When you're a makeup artist, skincare person, I feel like people probably asked you that all the time. Yeah, so she found shade in it and I wasn't there. Could have been shade, could have been not. I don't know. Angel is kind of like, well, did you ask her how her kids were doing because she said they were sick? Like, how did this conversation go? And then Kay's like, don't do that. Are you my friend or not? Are you taking Wendy's side? And I was like, it didn't really feel like taking Wendy's side. It felt like her saying, how did you come into the situation? Did she just straight off go shady with you? Or what was your energy like? And if you over there dealing with sick kids and still trying to honor your commitment, it could be a little stressful. And you got the FBI trying to see what jewelry you got in your closet that you claim you stole. You returned it to the store. It's a lot, KK going on over there. So yeah. I think Angel also knows her friend, and she's probably like, this girl over here making a big deal out of nothing. Let me just find out. So yeah, Angel, I like you, but your fashions, no bueno. I don't like the fashions so much. Angel's party is called Truth and Tranquility. That's a nice theme. You know, it's sound bowls. She got a little spiked tea for you. She got pillows and yoga mats. We know it's all about being very, not quiet, but peaceful. And the way she, the trees and the way her, view is, it was very nice. The lady, you walk in the door, the lady had cold towels for you. You'd wipe your hands off. Wendy over here, let me smell it. Why is you acting like that? That's the stuff they're talking about, Wendy. You walk in the house, you wipe your hands. It's not that serious. Let me smell it. You know it don't smell. So it's just wet towel. Good grief. If that's the case, she should have just said no, thank you. What did you sniffing it for? Girl, it's very spa vibes. Very beautiful. Wendy and Giselle, they double hugging and everything. I'm like, are y'all besties now? Giselle's all like, oh, you just gonna give me a church hug? And I'm like, there was a time when, Giselle, you wouldn't even say hi to the lady. Now she's not hugging you enough times. Please. Giselle says she doesn't like truth and tranquility. She likes lies and foolishness. Well, Ashley said y'all don't do lies. So Ashley, which one of y'all is it? Is it lies and foolishness or not? I feel like it's a lot of lies. That's what y'all like. Giselle, she's there to stir the pot. So she asked Kay if her and Wendy are good. We want to start that conversation again. And Kay says she's good. And Wendy says she doesn't have a problem. Kay is not good. She's still stuck on it. And Wendy is, I don't know, being dismissive like the lady says she is. Wendy said, and I'm going to have Wendy quotes throughout this season because there's going to be a lot of times that Wendy said some things during this season that did not age well. Like this one. I'm at peace and she's in pieces, or we're not the same. Well, I don't know. It might be flip-floppy about right now. She might be at peace and it seems like you are and Eddie are over there in pieces. So no, y'all are not the same. See how you have to watch how you say things? It's not even, not even something I would say about a friend, honestly. If I'm speaking like that about her, then I don't really care for her like that. Because if it's somebody that I think is a friend, I'm going to be like, I don't want you to feel like I'm dismissing you. So yeah, that's not what that is. You know what I'm saying? Fix it, Wendy. Nope, she don't want to fix it. She just doesn't have a problem. And they never want to move on from things. Okay, we don't want to talk about this anymore. Everybody's heard it. So you and Wendy are not good, but you can move on, move forward. All that shit y'all always be saying you want to do. Giselle asked Angel if her and Kay are okay because Kay was over at her house, at her apartment, at her condo, talking shit with Giselle. I told y'all Kay is easing herself up under Giselle. She's moving away from Wendy, which is fine because right now it seems like the best place to be is away from Wendy. Let her figure out what she's doing over there. But yeah, she's trying to kiss up to Giselle and she's not sneaky about it. So she's talking to Giselle about her best friend for 20 years and said, after what's her name? Angel was questioning her about Wendy, she had to chin check her. That's what she said. And Giselle was like, chin check her? Well, damn. What's happening with that? So when we're over at the party, Giselle running her big mouth to Angel was like, well, are y'all good? Because Kay said she had to chin check you. And Kay, of course, is not standing on business. She over here talking about what happened. What did I say? I did not say. Giselle, she was giving Giselle that, I didn't tell you that to share it. Look, well, you shouldn't have told Giselle. So if that's how you was feeling, then chin check. Well, that doesn't even go with whatever was happening over here. Angel got her little setup. It's a nice little decor food setup. So there's a bowl of mints. Y'all are really lame for the bad breath jokes. Like it's because you keep on doing it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Stacey's not letting y'all bait her with the bad breath jokes. They passing the bowl around talking about what did Ashley tell her? She said her breath was hot. And Stacey was like, well, then give me a mint then. Shit. Now what? She took the mint. So everybody's problem should be solved. I'm not mad at the mints, but Stacey, if they're bringing mints to the party just because of your breath, you should check that too. I don't know if it's for real or not for real, but I know the joke is like not funny. I feel like all these ladies have such a bad attitude about this event that this lady is throwing. She went out of her way, to get to know you guys better. What would you have preferred doing? Somebody said, Kiana said you don't like yelling in your house. Nope. So if you're going to be on that level, then it's best for you to leave. We're over here on some peaceful shit. This is what I do. She's a certified mindful outdoor guide. Have y'all ever heard of that? Because I have not. I've never heard of a certified outdoor mindful guide. Mindful outdoor guide. Either way, I'm not familiar. So at the end of the where they talk things out, they're supposed to have a circle of fire. This don't sound right. So y'all have sat here and did all your woosah and your sound bowl, and they acted so like irritated by the sound bowl. Wendy only can do this for a few minutes, and I was like, y'all have a problem with relax. It was just so like you come in the house, you wipe your hands, you have a little chilled spiked tea. The tea have vodka in it. That should, I don't know how people be acting on white liquor. It make me sick to my stomach, but they have some tea with some vodka in it. It sounds like you get a little chill, a little mellow. Wendy was high when she got there because her and Eddie be smoking up their own shit. That's probably why they running out of money. They getting high on their own supply, and now you got to pull a tricky one to get your money back up. Oh my God. So they're doing their tranquil fire circle speeches, and Kay came with a shot at Wendy. She wants to thank Angel for showing her what a real friend is supposed to be like. So I'm guessing that was definitely a shot at Wendy because Wendy's clearly not being a real friend these days. Tia, she must be tipsy. That Tia got Tia tipsy. Tia said, thank you to the holistic lady. And that lady said, my name is Nicole. Oh, Tia. Tia be off in her own thing. She's a little spoiled and a little spicy too. I'm wondering, it's cute, but I'm wondering how that's going to go, later on in the season. Here goes Stacey. Stacey is not certified. She's not holistic. She just taking over, talking about she need everybody to stand up. Stand up, turn your feet out, put your hands up to the sky. Like, they look a fool. And then they took a deep breath. She said it was a cleansing breath. They don't want to breathe with you, Stacey, because they said your breath is bad. I didn't. I'm just saying. Ashley is always overacting, so that's what's going on over there. Stacey just took over that lady's circle of fire. Nobody said we was going to stand up and take heavy breaths. Stacey pulls Ashley to the side. This irritated me. She pulled her to the side to show her divorce decree. And I'm like, for what? It's something that she pulled up on her phone. I don't feel like I wouldn't have given Ashley this satisfaction. So That's all I have to say about that. Stacy, if you're gonna come over here lying, they will freeze you out. So you better figure something out. But if you're gonna keep coming over here with made up stories, that's what Mia was doing. And it's not fun to talk about. So for me, if you just gonna be making shit up, I'm not gonna talk about it. And I'm damn sure not gonna talk about conversations between you and Ashley because this is a nothing conversation. Um, Giselle and Ashley and Kay. Look at Kay hanging out with her new homies, Giselle and Ashley. They meet Cookie at Karen's breakfast place for Karen's birthday. Are y'all bringing back Cookie every time? Or she just came over here to update us, on what's going on with Karen. So I do appreciate that they took, because every season we celebrate Karen's birthday. So I do appreciate that they took a moment and not like a party, but just to acknowledge Karen. Cookie being here is like an extension of Karen. So even though Karen is locked up, she's still, her presence is being honored over here. She said they asked her, Giselle asked, like, was she in any kind of treatment for her alcoholism? Because at the end of the day, I'm with Giselle, and I'm not probably going to say that much very often. But if you're an alcoholic, then get some help. Because sitting up there acting like, it's not a thing, is not going to get you anywhere but back in jail. So I hope she is doing a program. She had 4 DUIs that we know about. So, I mean, she had 4 DUIs. So, she was clearly out there drunk driving more times than just 4. Cookie said, yeah, she's in the program. She's reading a lot of books and she's working out. So she's doing jail shit because, that's what you do in jail. You read books, you work out, and, if you're lucky, you go in a program that's going to help you get, back straight on the straight and narrow. Now, Chris Samuels is texting Cookie for what? What is he texting Cookie for? That was just so odd. And Ashley said after her party, her friend was helping her with her dress, get her dress down the stairs. And she said that her friend told her that Stacy reached out to her and wanted her to introduce her to Chris Samuels. And Ashley said, did she do it? And she said, yeah, I introduced him. So Stacy was trying to get at Chris Samuels, according to Ashley, but we know Ashley's a liar, so I don't believe that. And she been holding on to that. Why you ain't asked Stacy about that? You asked her about divorce papers. This is juicier than that. You should have been like, girl, did you try to get with Chris Samuels? No, we want to talk about divorce papers that I don't have to show you. Todd, come to the front. Are you responsible for this? Did you make up this story about Chris Samuels and Stacy? Because it sounds made up. We'll find out next week because your girl Monique is back. So I don't know what Monique is going to come over here doing. She's just prancing down the street with a big ass smile on her face like all these girls didn't kick her off the damn show in the first place. She friends with Ashley still. But I heard her and Wendy really ain't. She didn't really know Wendy like that. So we'll see what it's giving, y'all. It's giving felonies, 16 of them about. That's what the people said. So I guess we'll be over here next week at 7 o'clock talk about Wendy and Eddie and the rest of these people. Until then, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.